A lot of you guys call them physically challenged people, but I call them specially built people because some of them were not born that way. Something happened one way or the other. Hi guys, Madam Oni here. Welcome to the first episode of Madam Onyinyechi and Family Foundation, where we get to tell the stories of these specially built people. We give them the opportunity to come out and tell their story so that some people or someone out there will get to learn from their story. On today's episode, our guest is a very unique and amazing personality, a very sweet soul and caring person to be with. Hi, sir. So, can you please introduce yourself to us?
Yeah, my name is Joseph Agency, the only short black boy with a difference. I hail from Imo State, Ikeru Ata precisely. Studied accounting in Mass Protect. And got married 2018 with a child. Then we're blessed with a child, yes. For now, thank you.
So we saw your interview with Lucky Udu, and a lot of people fell in love with your love story and your personal life, and a lot of people want to know more about you. Can you please just tell us about your family briefly?
Well, basically, I grew up in a family of five.
Okay.
3 boys, 2 girls. We're well trained and well loved. And I never had any issue with my family growing up.
Wow, that's nice. So you've been married for 6 years now.
Yeah.
In 3 words, can you please just tell us about your marriage? Just using 3 words.
In 3 words: perfect, joyful, and abundance of grace.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm jealous. Now, to the long-awaited question.
Okay.
A lot of people have been curious. They want to know what happened to you. Were you born this way? Like, have you been like this from childbirth? What happened? Were you like this? We want to know. We are curious.
Well, basically, there's a story I don't like talking about, but it all started when I was about 4 years old. I think from the story I was told then, my mom was having an issue with somebody.
I'm sorry to cut you short.
Okay.
I'm sorry to cut you short.
Yeah.
So you mean you were not born this way?
No, not at all.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. So please, can you tell us what happened and when did this thing happen?
You know, back then, it is diabolic because we are living in a rural environment whereby people put nose into your affairs. I think my mom was having an issue with the neighbor then, and then I was taking my bath outside. I think I was about 4 years then, 3 to 4 years, according to the story. So something like butterfly perched on my back, and that was the genesis of the structure that you see now.
I'm so sorry to cut you short.
Yeah, go ahead.
This story seems really amazing to me, and I know the viewers will be more interested in this.
Okay.
You mean you were not born this way?
No.
It all started when you were 4 years old.
Yeah.
So you were having your bait outside.
Yes.
According to you feel it's diabolic.
Yes.
You were having your bait outside,
Yeah.
and something like butterfly perched on your back.
That's true. According to the story I was being told.
According to the story you were told.
Yes.
Can you please just expatiate, elaborate so that we can understand? I know my viewers they are so curious. They want to really understand this story. And please, I want you to elaborate and expatiate for us to understand.
Yeah, basically according to the story in which I was being told upon, a butterfly perched to my back and then developed this structure. But during that period, or after that period, there was being a kind of an assistance. We went to Calabar, went to different cities to secure a solution towards it, but all to no avail. We went to churches, went medically, even to an extent we went. They suggested a surgery, but during the time of surgery, the doctor died. Then that was when my mom said, "No way, I should just stay like that," because it's a kind of at some point in time, they started calling me Onwuju. Onwuju means death for bees, because I've been in a lot of issues, a lot of traumas through that period. There's different kind of sickness came upon me then. So if I could survive that period up to date, It's just by the grace of God, and that's why they call me Onwuju. Onwuju means death forbids in Igbo language.
I'm sorry, Mr. Joseph. I don't think my viewers will understand this story. I just feel you're not telling it well enough. You
Okay.
said you feel it's diabolic.
Yes.
So your mom was having an issue. Please, can you explain the story? Like you're not telling it well enough. What
Well,
happened?
what
Sorry, sorry,
okay.
sir. When the butterfly perched on your
Yes.
back, what happened thereafter? What happened? You fell sick or something? What happened?
When the butterfly fell perched at the back, it's stuck there.
Okay.
So they tried to pull it off. It couldn't pull it off. Then they went medically. It wasn't going off. Traditionally, it wasn't going off. At a certain point, it pulled off, but the structure started coming up from that time.
So this is mysterious.
It
I'm
is.
finding it
It
so hard
is.
to understand and get this story. But you made mention of something. You said your mom was having an argument with someone. Can you please tell us about that?
When you live in a rural area, you tend to have issues with different kind of people, which was not your own personal apartment then. So she was having an issue with a neighbor. At that point in time, every other person might feel it is just a person, but to them, they felt it was that person because she's from the middle belt. They felt it was she that caused it because they had an issue. But what will happen will always want to happen or will happen. So to them, they felt it was she. But to me, it is diabolic and at the same time, uh, in economy, they say citrus paribus. What will happen was going to happen.
Okay, so after that butterfly, you became sick, right?
Yes.
You became sick and they were rushing you from
Different hospitals, yes.
to different hospitals,
Mm.
and that was it. Wow. I can't believe all this happened to you at the early stage of 4. That's a long time coming.
Yes,
So how
correct.
has your health issues been like? Has there been any other health issues, any other stuffs like you want to share with us?
Well, there hasn't been any other health issue outside when I gained admission. I think 2004. I gained admission to University of Calabar, and my younger one gained admission to Futo University of Calabar. So at that point in time, I actually was injected by a family nurse, which got me laid for 1 year. I couldn't work for 1 year. I grew up in a village as a recruiter. So I couldn't work for 1 year. I was rushed down to National Hospital in Coca. So for 1 year I couldn't work. That was when the doctor said they're going to amputate. I understood the word amputation, but when the doctor said amputate, it got down on my head. Amputate means to cut off. So I became scared. But at that process in the hospital, in the ward, I was singing with my younger brother, and one of the nurses came in and said, "How many of you are in this room?" It said she could hear different voices. She could hear different voices in the world. I said, "No, we're just saying there are more voices inside the room." Then she left, and we started praying. But to God be the glory, I was being discharged from the hospital. But after then, there was nothing to be done. The doctor said they should take me down to Igbobi to cut off the legs. Not just the leg, from the waist. As someone as I am back then, I refused to be cut off. And then my dad said no, my mom said no. So we went traditionally. They used this razor blade pain to cut my knees, my waist, and the rest. It took me 1 year to gain conscious of the leg again, to start walking. Then I was a good runner. I fight very well. I was stubborn back then. But because of the laxity of that injury that caused that period, that things I was being limited to, like I said.
Wow. So sorry. I would like to take you back to the story of when you were 4 years. So you made mention of you went through the hospitals, you went through the church way and other stuffs.
Mm.
What happened at the end? What happened? You made mention of a doctor that wanted to travel you out to go do the surgery for the growth. So
Yes.
what happened after that?
Regards to the doctor, my dad was a banker in UBA.
Okay.
So they have a surgeon that takes care of them back then. So the doctor volunteered, okay, he's going to take me down to India for a surgery.
Okay.
After doing the whole paper thing, they said it could be done. But at that point in time, my mom said no. At that point in time, just few weeks to the period of my departure, the man died mysteriously.
Wow.
The man just died. So this thing got on my mom. My mom said, no way. If this man could just die like this, there's something behind this thing. It's better you stay like this because you might go and do the surgery and you could die. So my mom said, stay like this. No more surgery, no more prayers again. Because she was a prayer warrior. She attends first prayer back then. And then my dad attends Anglican church. So she said, no way, no way. Let's maintain this thing like this.
Wow.
Because we could go do this surgery and then I might die. So I regain conscious of my sanity.
Wow.
So I'm this way.
You've really been through a lot, from 4 years to growing up and you collecting the injection that made you paralyzed for more than 1 year.
Yeah, that's right.
How did you start working? You made mention of you could not work for a year. So what happened? What was the healing process like? What happened? What caused your healing?
You know, I believe in miracles. I believe in healing. You know, at that point in time, my cousin's child, a small girl of about 6, came to pray for me, and I regained consciousness. A feeling on my toe. I had a feeling on my toe. So I believe the miracle started at that point in time. But the basic transformation of me walking again, just put on foot on the ground was, you know, like I said, we live in a public environment. My mom and our neighbor was having issues. Nobody dares to come to my flat then to insult me. I was being called Mario back then. Mario, because I was so stubborn. When you're stubborn, I was very stubborn. Nobody comes to our house to talk. So I was in the parlor resting because I couldn't walk. But the woman was shouting at my mom. I said, who dares shout at the mom? At that point in time, I just unconsciously stood up. The two people fighting, when they saw me settle, that was the transformation of me starting working again after the 1 year.
Wow. That's a very touching story.
Yeah.
So how was growing up like? Let's start with family, friends, the neighbors. How was growing up like?
Well, I'm a social person. Growing up in a family is a wonderful thing to be with because I have a wonderful family. I have wonderful friends around me. I choose my kind of people that I want to be with. Nobody chooses me because I have this perception that you don't choose as a friend. I select you and I select whoever I want to choose as a friend to be with me. So my growing up environment was free. So no segregation.
There was no discrimination,
No,
any
no.
stigmatization, or
Because
anything.
that mindset was not even really there because I feel I could do all things through Christ that strengthens me because I feel I'm on top of everybody. I overshadow people. I back then, you know, really I was one of the best runner in athletics, you know. I run very well. I play table tennis very well. So they call me for table tennis very well. So I go out to play table tennis, I run. One of my friends Hillary is in UK now. Hillary was also my close friend that we run together.
So do you still run till now?
How can I run to that after injection of 1 year? No, that's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of people call you different names like
Yeah.
hunchback. I see a lot of comments like hunch front,
Yeah.
ritual ingredient. How do you get to cope with those hate comments? Like how do you cope with them?
Well, basically, if they call you such kind of name, the UK says that kind of name, no. You might be physically being challenged, you're not being mentally challenged. There's difference between being physically being challenged and mentally being challenged. Those who are calling such things are being mentally challenged. They can't bear me in terms of reasons. So is your ability to accept such kind of words makes you a failure. So I don't accept such kind of words. I believe I could do all things. I talk and walk like a good leader. So that is why I could overcome such words at all times.
Period. So, sir, your voice. A lot of people have been commending your voice, the way you talk. Others are feeling like you're either forming or you're just trying to be like what you're not. So, your voice, where do you get your voice from? Is it natural or is something you're just.
Well, basically, it's hereditary. My dad speaks like this. Oh, I wish you could see my other brothers. They talk just like this. Even I'm the worst talker when it comes to voicing. When you get to meet my brothers, you feel feel you're talking. But we're just like this. My dad has a good voice. My dad was a chorister. That sings very well. He won some competition back then, 80s. My mom, a quiet talker. So it's natural. Hereditary.
Wow. Okay, so I would like to get your opinion. What do you have to say to other physically or specially built people out there like you? Or any word of encouragement for them?
Do not look down on yourself because when you look down on yourself, you feel emotions. Basically, don't look down. Sometimes I feel always look up to God because God is the author of the fullest of our faith. If you don't look up to God and you look up to your fellow human being, you're gonna feel aroused. So look up to God at all times. Be proud of yourself.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir, for blessing us with your presence today.
Thank
Really
you.
means a lot to us. I know people out there have picked one thing or the other and they've learned from this interview and they're touched by it. So, guys, we've come to the end of Madam Onion Family Foundation. This interview, this is our first episode, and we've come to the end. Please, I want to encourage each and every one of you to please subscribe and turn on the notification button so you'll be the first person to know whenever we drop new episodes like this. And mind you, we'll be dropping new episodes weekly. We get to interview people so that a lot of people out there can get to know them and learn from their story. So, bye.